Greetings, sir and sirettes, and welcome back to ARK Survival Evolved with me, Lathrix, and of course, welcome to our little oasis underneath the spire. In today's episode, we are going to try and level as fast as possible and make a tiny little base of operations in this rather beautiful area of the map. It looks fairly safe, at least in comparison to the places we've already been, and it would be nice to be able to put down our little pet Tom somewhere safe. Although apparently there are still bugs, as we can see. So by safe, I mean relatively safe. Well done, Raptors. You killed a couple of bugs, and now you're trapped down there. What a good start. I think that is going to set the tone for the entire episode. A lovely, lovely derpy episode. Hello, you two. Come on, let's get out of here. Oh, now that is something I wanted to see. So by the looks of things, not only are there talons, which I assume are coming from the larger animals which inhabit this DLC, but also there are artifacts, which must mean there's either dungeons or caves or some area of interest in which we can loot, which will be a nice goal for the future. It's always nice to have goals and something very clear to work towards, so I'm very, very happy about that. It also means when we eventually spawn these fearsome creatures in, we can do that here safely. What was that? Is that a Titan boa? That is indeed a Titan boa. So remember when I said safe? Oh, a bow. Well, that's freaking awesome. Now a metal a metal hatchet. Okay, best Titan boa ever. We've already got metal gears. Okay, I'm being really distracted here. We just got really good loot, so just for those who don't realise how good that was, we've now got a metal hatchet, a metal pickaxe, and a bow long before I can learn any of these because of that Titan boa. And I've completely lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, when we summon in the evil creatures, we will have a base nearby, which means we could have set up defences, which means we could trap the poor thing and utterly gut it. Yeah, that's what we're doing today. We're building, I think. Metal hatchet, though. Behold the god of all fish. Is that just a Yep, that is a regular coal. And it's 3.6 times. That is ridiculously massive. And completely stuck in the rock. Why are the others just sort of hanging around, I wonder? Are they attracted to each other, maybe? So they make shoals and perhaps the bigger ones are more attractive in that manner? I really don't know. But either way, regardless of the fish we're now looking at, or at least was looking at a second ago, I just found something rather interesting. And ignore the fact that I ended up going in the water because the raptor ended up in the water again. I need to put these somewhere safe. It turns out, around this oasis, we have these adorable little purple plants. Or lilac plants, whatever colour you want to call them, and they give silk. Now, silk can be obtained, I believe, by killing the moths. Either way, it's interacting with the moths somehow. And apparently these plants. I didn't know that these plants existed, so that's really helpful, and yet another reason why we should set up camp here, even though we are quickly finding out it really is not as safe as I thought it was. So the question is, where do we start building? We're not going to build anything too fancy, at least not yet. We're going to be building very, very simple, at least for the time being, and I think we should build on that ridge there, because that gives us a nice look over of the oasis. It seems like it's easy enough to protect with a couple of walls, and ultimately it just is going to look pretty, and pretty is good. I'm also very happy that there's a lot of normal trees around here. That makes everything easier. Okay, you two stop for a second, because I know every time I walk over here you fall into it, and I'm going to increase... Oh, thank you. I'm going to increase both of your health. And take the hide off you as well, so I know how much I've got. Okay, so we have this area here, which is relatively flat, but a little bit too small, and then we have over there, which looks flatter. However, I was just over there, and I'm fairly certain it's not quite as flat as it looks. Flat means everything is easier, and easy is good. Yeah, it curves off far too quickly. So over there I think is where we're going to build. It's just underneath this cliff, which I'm not too happy with, but it's just really prettily placed. Okay, apparently there's an animal type I've not seen before. Oh, it's just a vulture. Just completely regular vulture. Did I just get spoiled meat from harvesting that? You harvest spoiled meat from a vulture. I understand that vultures are all about, you know, eating carrion and such, but I'm fairly certain their meat wouldn't be spoiled unless... Ooh, hello. No, I've already looted this one. But I'm fairly certain their meat wouldn't be spoiled unless somehow the toxins leak into the flesh. Which could happen. I mean, I'm not against that theory, but I don't think that's how it works, right? Right? I've just hit level 10, and now we can make a tent, a boomerang, a wooden spike wall, and a mortar and pestle. I've already just made myself a boomerang, not quite sure what we're really using this for. I'm guessing it's more for perhaps taming, knocking out enemies, rather than doing damage, because it doesn't tell me a damage stat, so that's my assumption. The tent, I don't know how this is going to work. It's probably just like a very cheap form of shelter you can put down and then leave. A bit like a real tent. Oh, okay, so I just got up here and the praying mantis is down there. Hello, buddy. Got you once. Oh, you can almost fly. Like a real praying mantis, okay then. Probably not going to tame it by hitting it on the arse. Come on, please be my pet. If you can be tamed, this will be amazing. Otherwise, I'm going to kill you and then loot you horribly. Oh, you're running. You are running. Definitely tameable then. There's no other reason why it would run. It must be high on torpor. Well, low on torpor. Mantis, where are you? Please don't drown if you get knocked out in there. Come on, boomerang. Go back to me already. Can the boomerang not break? It hasn't got a durability bar. Oh, come on! I want this mantis! This is taking far longer than I would like. This whole place is so difficult to move around in. Oh, don't you dare attack the animal. You do not get to die. No, bad mantis. Look, ooh, I am fresh meat. I am delicious. Eat me instead. That was a terrible shot. But to be fair, I'm trying not to hit the other two animals it's currently surrounded by. You're being very annoying, Mantis. Although, you are kind of glitching out, which makes you a pretty easy shot right now. Now watch me miss. Back of the head. Close enough. Oh, yes! Please don't say you're drowning. Please don't say you're drowning. Please don't say you're drowning. Please don't say you are drowning. Oh, it's unconscious, but I can't tame it. I'm going to Google about this. Well, that's pretty darn awful. It turns out I'm nowhere near taming this thing. I need something called a death worm horn, which I assume is a fearsome beast in the DLC, at least it certainly sounds like it, death worm. But also, I need bug repellent. You always need bug repellent. I hate making bug repellent. So, because I'm afraid you do make this place completely unsafe by your mere presence, I will be looting you now. Goodbye, Mantis. No loot? Well, I'm guessing you give us chitin at least. And organic polymer. I can't speak today. I'm a little bit tired. But at least we can tame something else. Something big and scary. Something which is a herbivore. Naturally, the first time I try and use the boomerang on something I can actually tame, it breaks. Hello! Hello, how are you doing? Oh, wow! Oh, wow, I turned around at just the right moment there. I'm actually going to put the tent down, it's far too heavy. You stay there, we'll try it out you later. That thing, that lovely, lovely thing that just almost headbutted us, was stuck between two trees. No, there it is. You're a friend, so they must attack in a herd. If one gets attacked, the others must then defend. Also, we are overheating over here. I need to get somewhere where it can't get to. And you are knocked out. Okay, so we have finally knocked out one after that rather insane moment a second ago. This is the one I attacked originally. And I thought it was her who simply broke through these trees and then charged me, but apparently it was one of her friends, which has just walked off at this point. So, you can be tamed right next to our base, so when you're fully tamed, we will then go off on our merry journey and continue doing everything else. But, since you're here, it means I can keep on building. We now have narcotics, absolutely fantastic. Even though we are very, very far away from making the trank arrows or even the regular arrows, which is a bit of a problem. Although we do have a bow, because we looted it, we can't replenish the ammo, so we have to be really, really careful with our 39 shots. Although it does seem like the raptors are dropping it really, really often, so if we just go on some hunting trips, I'm sure we can get a lot of our arrows back. Either way, though, I would like to try to maybe get to level 15 by the end of the episode. We are on ×3 experience, so it's not too bad. And if we get to level 15, we can make a saddle for the lovely thing we're currently taming. We can make a raptor saddle, and of course we can make arrows, which is very helpful when you've got a bow. And also very confusing. I can make spears and pickaxes and all of this stuff, but I can't figure out how to make an arrow. For the bow I've already got, looking at arrows already in my inventory. I'm a special type of guy. So you can pick up the tent, which is really, really good, but let's see how the tent actually works then. I literally picked it up by mistake. So, open. Tom, you stay out here. Okay, stay safe. Increased insulation stats. Oh, wow, yeah, massive increased insulation stats. So whilst we're inside then, we'll be resistant to heat, resistant to cold, and probably any other weird things which happens during a storm. I haven't seen a storm yet, but I'm sure it's going to be utterly awful. So tents, very, very useful. I'll still leave you here though, because you are still far too heavy. Ah, Tom, do you need to level? Let's make you a little bit harder to kill, shall we? There we go. Death by arrow in the arse. I'm afraid, little Saber, that had to happen. Yeah, this place isn't safe in the slightest. Level 34 with no loot. Well, once again, we get more hide. And eventually we will cook the meat, so it wasn't completely pointless. And by the looks of things, we got almost all of our arrows back. Wonderful. Carrying weight. Level, what am I now, 13, 12? 12. Nothing really of note. I'm waiting until 15 because there's loads of stuff and I have no idea what half of this is, so definitely worth waiting for. Of course! Where did the animal go? I bet you anything that Saber killed the thing we were taming. Really though, that's just annoying. That's just inconsiderate. That is really, really irritating. This poor thing has been stuck here for the last maybe 10-20 minutes. I think it's only fair we try and tame it. Good, that did count as a headshot. I was a little bit worried. The water seems almost safe here. There's definitely no piranhas, so it's about as safe as the land. Just this time, what I'm going to do is just stand by it. Slow down my day a bit, but it would at least guarantee its safety. I was thinking that perhaps maybe we just allowed it to wake up, but then I've looked around for it, it doesn't exist, and I'm fairly certain I fed it all of those narcos just before going for the tent, which was only like 5 minutes. And it was losing torpor really slowly, so I can't imagine that's the case. Come on, come back to me, Boomerang. I wonder what's stronger. The slingshot or the boomerang? Obviously the boomerang breaks a lot slower, but I feel like maybe that's the stronger one. Hello there, please don't say you're drowning. You're not, good. Well, I don't have many berries for you right now, but I will come back. Yeah, look how slowly that torpor's going down. There is no chance that thing woke up. Let's get some more berries, be careful, and make sure we actually tame it this time. I want its saddle by the end of the episode. Be kinda pointless if we didn't have it. I'm so sorry. Oh, they even get knocked out adorably. You can have a single berry, 'cause that's all I have on me right now. I will call this one Jerry. Are you male? Yes, I will call you Jerry. Aww. Hello. Meet Jerry. The tiniest little adorable hunter ever. Okay, you follow me. Not exactly the fastest of bouncing animals, but still. He'll do. It is timed, but before we have a look at the dossier, let's get out of the water. That would be very, very helpful. Come on, everyone. It's starting to get a little bit closer to night time. I really do need to set the defaults back to, well, being defaults, because at the moment, daytime is like 5-6 times longer than nighttime, and it's getting a little bit weird. Hello there, buddy. How are you? Your eyes closed, or is that the colour? Wow, your eyes are really weird. Wait. Look at that eye. Now, look at that eye. That has a pupil. Are you blind in this eye? Oh. You have one eye. I'm thinking that's a graphical glitch of your skin, but that is unseeable. Like, once you've seen it, you can't unsee it. How strong are you anyway? Let's see. Health is lower than I expected by a long shot. Stamina is okay. Weight is okay. You are not as good as I first thought. You are like a worse Bronto. Maybe you have some redeeming qualities once you're mounted. Okay, so let's have a quick look-see at this thing's dossier then. That is the wrong button. Okay, so I feel a little bit silly. We found out this in the last episode, and I completely forgot, even though we talked about it in this episode very briefly as well. The reason why they are useful is because they can carry water. They collect water on their back, which you can use at any given time, of course, as long as there's some water left, which means they are a large mobile water source that can mean the difference between life and death on any given journey. They are just giant sources of water, which is really, really useful. I mean, look, you can see here, 750 water at the moment, and if I would like to, I believe I can fill my water containers with the water in their back, which is really, really good. So, Tom, Jerry, unnamed creature, let's get back to the quote-unquote safety of our little home over there. There is a direwolf currently chilling out in the center disk of this place, and I'm almost certain now that predators spawn right there, because this is the third time I have seen it. Perhaps they don't spawn on the disk itself, but somewhere nearby is definitely a spawning platform. And it's going to try and kill something. I could try to tame it, though I'm not certain if you can ride them until a certain level. I'm also fairly certain you don't need a saddle for them, although it's been quite a while, so don't quote me on that. Apparently I'm making a lot of mistakes today anyway, so I don't know why you'd believe me at my word's value. Not quite far enough, okay. Not quite close enough, rather. It's plenty far enough. Hello there, Wolfie. Not the smartest of things, are you, coming up to there? I'm assuming it won't work unless I get a headshot. You're attacking the rock. That's not going to work. Ah, a little bit too short. Oh no, don't get away from me, please. Oh, it turns out direwolves sink. They actually sink. It was tamed, well, knocked out at the top of the water, so to be less cruel, we are putting it out of its misery. Darn, that was perfect as well. Managed to knock it out and everything. So, direwolves sink when in water, therefore I just drowned a wolf. I'm sure you're all really happy with me right now. Increase weight. We're now level 13, I believe. 2 more levels, then we can get all the cool stuff. Why is there so many of you around here? And there's the mega coal. Look at that in comparison to the rest. That's ridiculous. Although apparently it has managed to free itself at least. Let's get back to building and feeling sad about drowning the wolf. There we are, a very basic pen, just to make sure all of these lovely animals, the raptors, Tom and Jerry, are all somewhat safe. Although, sadly, this lovely fellow can't quite fit in there with our current door system. When we eventually get the larger door, the dinosaur door, whatever it's called, the gate, then we can make something which can also protect this fellow. So, to make sure we level up all the way to 15, the next thing we're going to make is the wooden spike walls. So we can put these all around the perimeter, and although we can't completely seal off the area, it will at least catch some animals. Some raptors, some wolves should hopefully get stuck on the spikes and either die or be very, very weakened. Or just get completely blocked, which would be helpful. Ooh, a water beetle. And I am currently burning. We have the scorpion, and our little spiky wall is now finished. Now, of course, this does mean that our animals will not be able to get through here. I can scarcely get through here myself, but it does mean that the smaller animals, things like the wolves and the scorpions and the raptors, will have a tough time coming in through this direction. Also, I'm apparently stuck in the wall. Okay, good to know this game is still completely bug-free. There we are, everything's fine, nobody saw me floating like that. Oh, and we have the scorpion now. Yay for that. No idea when I'm going to be able to use you. When can I even make your saddle? 25. We've got a while left. So, what should we do on the other side? Should we put down some walls? We could put some walls down on the top. Actually, that's what we should do on this cliff here, because that's where the praying mantis tried to attack us from. If we can block off the top section there, once again, smaller animals will find it much more difficult to try and attack us. And I'm really close to leveling as well, so I should level as soon as I make this next piece of wall. Come on, give me some fibre. There we are. And level 15 finally. Let's increase our fortitude, and let's have a look at our new stuff. So then, we have the new saddle somewhere here. There we are, the brand new saddle and the raptor saddle. So clearly we're getting both of these. We have the water well, which I'm fairly certain goes on those weird spots we found earlier, the water reservoir things. We can now make arrows, fantastic. We could make a whip if we had a slingshot. Keeps your foes at bay, keeps your herd moving. That's curious. I'm very, very curious about that. I do kind of want that, and we do need to be able to make a slingshot. I have found almost all of my tools on animals so far. There has been almost no need to make anything ourselves. It would be good if we could make a bow in the future, but for now we'll leave it. We have the whip. I'm never going to use hide armor because that just increases temperature, which will end up killing me. We really don't need a raft, considering this entire map is mostly sand. Ooh. Then we have this. Insulates the inside from the outside and separates rooms. So I'm assuming this is made out of sand. Now that's cool for a more permanent building. Yes, let's do that. On the upside, even though we do now need to learn how to make clay, because I'm a dum-dum, we can make the saddle, and the saddle requires 140 hide and 80 fibre, so that shouldn't be too difficult at all. Let's go out, let's hunt the first thing we can see, which hopefully is something not particularly difficult to kill, and then make ourselves a saddle. Also, let's put down the spiky wall up top there, so that we can hopefully negate some attacks. The saddle is now being created, and we have 2 of the spiky wall segments up top there. Soon enough, it will go all the way along this ridge, and thus be protecting us from the smaller of enemies, even though the larger of enemies still will very happily devour us. I'm going to slowly walk over here, because almost all of my weight is in that saddle. Hello. You can have some increased health, because your health is far, far too low. That's a really cool looking saddle. Okay, let's get on, and there we are. We have our first mount of the game. Right-click does this. Ooh. 3 times plant species Y. What does that do? Also, yes, we are a very good berry harvester. Also a very good thatch harvester. Definitely the right animal to make the saddle for first. Look at that attack as well, that's unbelievably cool. Okay, more health for you. And look at how much food we have now. Look how many narco berries we have. Yes, very good animal indeed. We'll need to name this brute. We could just call it Brute. Oh, no, it's being called Brute. Screw it, that's exactly what it's going to be called. Where is your name? Change name. You are going to be called Brute. Because that's what you look like. Just look at this thing. Sheer brute force, blind in one eye, and apparently a very good berry harvester. What more could you want? And I need to drink. There's probably a hotkey I can press while I'm mounted on it to do that, but I'm not sure what it is. Bam. That is so helpful. Do kind of want to try and fight something though, but I can't imagine this thing's base attack is very high. So let's test out on fish. The fish are a good target. There is some serious lag coming from this corner. I'm assuming all of the fish have got stuck again or something. Well, there's certainly a lot of them. Hello there, little fish. Okay, so we can kill a very low-level coal. That's not really too impressive, but at least it means we're doing some damage. Killed level 32. Yeah, we're not the strongest, but that's not the worst either. I've definitely seen weaker animals than that. Though the attack has a very small hitbox, though. I expected it to be much larger, but that could purely be because we're in the water. I like this animal, I think I've decided. It's a shame I have to get off here to drink. I'm sure there must be a way to do that. It's probably really simple, like, oh, you just have to press... Oh, is he drinking? That's cool. It's finally been nighttime, and now it's early morning, around about 10 AM, I believe, indeed 10:11, and it's remarkably hazy. I've probably upped the gamma several times in editing, because I can hardly see anything. This is either the beginning of a storm, because this is a really weird hazy look, or mornings are just very, very dark in this world. The wind has also seemingly increased, so... I'm a little bit nervous about this, but I'm afraid I am all out of time for today's episode. If you have enjoyed, then of course, likes, favourites, shares, comments, all that good stuff helps out me, helps out the channel, and most importantly, shows that ARK Survival Evolved, and in particular the Scorched Earth DLC, is a series you wish to see continued in the future. Now I'm going to go away and finally get some sleep, since all of the first 3 episodes were recorded at the same time. And I'm getting very tired, so thank you so much for watching yet again, and goodbye. And of course, goodbye from Brute, the one-eyed creature. Okay, so maybe we're not calling it just yet. We are currently under attack by a raptor. Well, that was a lot easier than expected. Well done, Brute.